Good day, people. Another video today, learning the macaco. Well, for you it's learning. For us, or for Sarah, it's more refining the macaco because she already learned it. So let's look at some drills on, basically from the ground up learning the macaco. How to activate the pushing musculature, which is important. How to activate the pulling musculature, which is also important. How to overcome fears, and that's basically it. So let's directly start, no?
Let's go.
Let's start. Our first things first, we gotta activate our pushing musculature, because in a macaco, like in all supporting acrobatics, we need to resist gravity's pull. And it's not just simply pushing away, but there is a certain thing, a certain activation that we can do. A friend of mine, a very great teacher from Argentina, Lucia Toquer, she coined it as the lateral push, which is an idea of pushing laterally, right? So what we can do is simply from a low crouched position, left leg is in front, so I go over my right arm. I now try to bring as much possible the weight of my hip on top of my supporting arm. Now the supporting arm, I want to kind of bend my arm just a little bit and squeeze my arm, rotate it inwards. Therefore, my shoulder blade can really attach to my rib cage, and I can already feel down here a very nice activation. Try to push as tall as possible and lean as much as possible onto this arm. Now, instead of rotating down towards the floor, we try to stay open, maybe even opening up a little bit more. Simply holding this for about 10 seconds, pushing tall, bending the elbow slightly, rotating inwards, and holding this position. Now my upper arm already arches back, kind of faking a macaco. Boom. Then I go to the other side. I'm pushing into the floor, very nice and tall, minimally bent, inward rotation, push my hip nice and tall, squeeze my shoulder blade underneath my rib cage, push my rib cage tall, boom, and I can feel a very nice burn. Let's switch around. Hips nice and tall. Boom, squeezing the shoulder blade, very nice. Pushing, 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 pushing. And this really is the shoulder position that we need in the macaco. And if you can already do it like this, your body and also mentally, you will feel much more ready to later really go for the macaco. Nice. We switch sides. Boom. As you can see, it's really this lateral push, right? Body orientated laterally. And switch. Now you could continue doing this for about 2 more sets to really feel this activation, but we directly jump into the next one, a dynamic application of the lateral push. So instead of this starting position, now I crouch down into a very dynamic squat, right? I don't need to be on all my foot, but this, because here I can really jump from my feet. I find the support on my left arm. Once again, it's the same kind of support. And I now go from a squatting position to on top, this time instead of sideways oriented, already a little bit more backwards. But instead of just doing this, I want to do it with a jump. So I kind of jump backwards, but the jump is directed with my pulling arm. So here, the pulling mechanisms comes handy, right? I pull my arm backwards, therefore my body will go into an arch, and at the last moment I add a little jump. Also, your eyes can go backwards to already kind of scheme where you want to go later on. Boom. Change.
How far away did you go?
Lovely. You should feel secure and safe. So that looks about right.
Yeah.
But you need to try and really see when you feel super sturdy and secure on your arm. Wonderful arch.
You stay up?
No,
Or you go
you
down?
can land back down again. what you can see super nicely here when Sarah is doing that, it's just a minimal hop, no? It does not need to be a high jump. It's more about figuring out the pulling mechanics from the arm and how that translates into a hop, rather than just jumping, really pulling upwards. Nicely. Onto the other side. And from this angle we can really see how the shoulders are aligned, right? Still there is this idea of the lateral push. Sarah is on top of the main supporting arm, and this is what we want. A very nice big swing with the arm, and once again it's kind of like a rubber band. The body opens up. Wonderful. Whoa, so here's a little advert break, okay? I recently launched a new online program of mine. It's called the Acrobatics Lab, and it's basically my most in-depth program I've ever created. It's filled with videos, tutorials, a practice structure, theory and practical tips for an acrobatic practice, and I would highly suggest that you look into it if you're interested in acrobatic practice, right? The program is definitely for all of you out there, but complete new beginners, I would recommend to start with my Finding Flow Basics program or Integrations program first. It gives a little bit more of an easier entry into the acrobatic world. But if you're already experienced a little bit with acrobatics and you can kind of do cartwheels and rolls and all of that, definitely have a look at it. And exclusively for this video, if you use this promo code right here, you receive a 10% discount that you can use on your purchase. So actually, no question needed, right? Check it out and enjoy. Now once again, if you feel very good doing this drill, repeat it for 1, 2, 3 more times until you feel super comfortable. And once again, it's not about jumping too high, it's feeling this mechanism of arm pulls, arm pushes, and the body spreads open into this nice arc. Let's try to do the same thing, but a little bit more different, working a little bit on leg dynamics, which come in super handy in the Macaco. So, same starting position, same idea. This time, instead of pulling backwards, I allow my body to pull a little bit more diagonally open. Still, I just want to go up and land back down again, but this time we also work on leg mechanics. So, I pull my body up dynamically into this diagonal push, lateral push, and then I will split my legs mid-air, landing back down again.
So now the gaze is not that important. It's
Not
more
that important, because I think if you try to work too much with the gaze, you will lose the details in the legs and all it. Focus on the legs and have the details there.
Okay. So it's kind of this.
Kind of this. You will feel it in the air. It's really like going for a split a little bit. Nice. And of course, people, it takes time to figure this one out. But it's really helpful for doing a full Macaco then, especially with the landing mechanics. Nice. So that you can try a little bit more to really be sideways on your arm, right on, because this is where you are strong. Yeah. That's all. Pushing nice into the floor. Rib cage up towards the sky. Yeah. Cool. Once again, repeat for as many times as you want, especially if you feel this drill is cool for you. But we try to now directly go into a Macaco, a very low Macaco that is. So, once again, what we have, there is 3, or let's say 4 mechanisms at work. Number 1, it's the pushing mechanism from the arm. This needs to be there always. It gives us the support, it gives us a base and a feeling of security and confidence, right? If we lose it, no bueno, house of cards. So, really push tall. The second mechanism is the pulling mechanism of the arm, right? If we don't use that, it's kind of like jumping without the use of an arm. There is a lot of power inside, so let's try to embrace that. We push, we pull so much that at the end, we have the third mechanism, which is a little hop. Little hop, yeah? It does not need to be a full jump, it's more pop. And then we have the fourth mechanism, which is the spreading of the legs. Obviously all of them, you don't need to think about them while doing it, they need to come by themselves. So this is the practice. Let's now start in a little squat. I let myself glide backwards onto my arm, already gathering my arm. A little jump around with a split leg and landing smoothly. Ideally, you should land on one leg and use the other to kick you into standing. And therefore already you have a very smooth macaco. Of course, if it's necessary, use the second arm on the floor to feel a little bit more secure. But really I propose to practice with one arm only to strengthen this arm and gain understanding of where to go. Now, and of course people, this could be scary, so you take it easy and very minimally. And Sara is repeating in her head what's going on. Nice one. Then remember, for the starting position you can be in a squat, arm not on the floor, so you glide backwards. So you use the momentum of the glide. Hey. Epa. Very nice. Hello people.
Hi.
Hello. Well, if you happen to go into one of our videos, you're on film. Nice. Now people, from a very low macaco to going more and more backwards could be weeks and months of practice, right? Depending how strong you are, depending also how strong you feel and how secure you feel on your supports. It could come also a little bit quicker, right? But don't worry, don't push too far. Let's slowly work more and more. But then if you want to take it a little bit further, there is another important detail, which is the delay of the opening of the legs. So if I open my legs directly, my macaco trajectory is very much diagonal sideways around. So something like this. Right? If I want to go more and more on top of myself, I kind of need to arch more and more and more. My body opens more and more, I fly, and only at the last moment then I open my legs. So it's kind of like open, waiting, up and snapping my legs towards the floor. So something like this. A very delayed boom and then snapping into it. Hips are heavy. This is where the center of mass is in our body. This center of mass needs to go high on top of the shoulder. If you feel your hips on top of your shoulder, you feel secure because you can support it. If it's not on top, you're wobbly and you fall out of place. So try to bring your hips on top of your shoulder and you're strong so you can push.
It's a bit scary on this ground.
A bit scary. It's very hard concrete. It's nice for the connection on the floor, but definitely it's hard. So if you
from the squat?
Still from the squat or from standing, whatever you prefer. Nice. Yep. As a starting position, maybe you can also try something like this. You take a step and you explode backwards.
Like, whoop, whoop.
And backwards, exactly. This is what I did when I learned it, and it helped me.
Huh.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, nice one. One more thing is basically everything stays the same but the landing. Instead of now landing right arm, right leg, we go right arm, left leg. It feels a little bit like a one-arm cartwheel, but it could be really great because now the hips need to go higher, otherwise it's not possible. So it's a good way to cheat yourself more into confidence. So I go, boom, and now I bring this far leg first towards the floor. You could do it even like a little cartwheel like this. But this would be a little bit more cheated, so let's try to jump. Alrighty people, that is it, the Macaco. The Macaco is a journey, right? Learning the move and the understanding of the basic patterns, you can do it in a session or two, but then really refining it and trying to get it more and more backwards, weeks and months of practice sometimes, yeah? So instead of seeing just the final fullwards back Macaco as the end product that you need to reach, there is thousands of steps in between, like the low Macaco, which is also fun, no?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's super fun. So, yes. Anything you want to share?
Practice on grass if you're scared, but enjoy the process.
Good one. And also people, learning all of this online is possible. The Finding Flow online programs, we got 2 for beginners, the Finding Flow Basics and Finding Flow Integrations. And then we got the big Acrobatics Lab online program, full-on acrobatics for many months of study, research, experimentation. Check it out. See you
Bye bye.
next time.